I love my little robot vacuum. It picks up dirt, it mops, it disturbs the peace of the cat. What I don't love is the mop water that comes out of this thing. Robot overlords, I beg you to have mercy on me. Smelly, full of chunks, a tasty chocolate milkshake, this is not. I don't know about you, but my brain is allergic to simple tasks, such as draining and filling mop water. But I do like mechatronics plumbing problems. Relays go brrr. Also, the robot has googly eyes. I bet it just loves its job. Why? Come on, let's go. We got this, okay. Let's go clean. Starting with the easiest part, this is the freshwater tank. I needed a simple way to keep it full, but not overflowing. So I turned to the toilet. Skibbity. Within this throne lies the solution. A simple float valve. When the water level goes down, the float lowers, opens the valve, lets water in till it reaches the top, the float floats, and the valve closes. So to replicate that functionality, I found this little gem on Amazon for 10 bucks. A float valve that also happens to connect right to an ice maker line. So I busted out the step drills and started drilling some holes. I never met my real drill. Hitting it with the deburr whip, then tightening the bulkhead portion of both sides. Hooking it up to an ice maker line and giving it a few tests, it works great. However, when I described it to my roommate, he did bring up a good point.
And when it's up, it closes it.
That's sick.
That's it.
It's like a toilet.
It's like a toilet.
That's awesome. And there's no safety built into it.
No.
What if that breaks?
Absolutely none.
Yeah, so no real safety mechanism built in at this point. I did have an idea for that, didn't really end up working out. Moving on to the dirty water tank. I want to use this 12-volt pump to suck the dirty water out and away into a drain. The thing that will trigger it is this simple little float switch. However, I didn't want to send the full current of the pump through those tiny little wires on the switch, so I'll also be using a relay. The float sensor triggers the relay, the contact closes, and the pump will turn on. This is a 12-volt, 5-amp pump, which means I'll need to find a power supply that's at least that. Checking my drawer of power supplies, I found one. Mwahaha! My years of electronics hoarding have just been validated. To hold the sensor in the dirty water tank, I used a soldering iron to melt the plastic pipe, and then just shove the sensor into it. Bending and trimming the pipe to size let me adjust it so that when the dirty water tank is partly full, the pump will kick on and start draining. After drilling some holes, I put in a bulkhead that can accommodate that 3/8 pipe for the sensor. The second hole is for the drain line that will hook up to the pump and drain the dirty water. Initially, I just wanted to shove it through the side, but for reasons I'll get into later, I ended up using a larger bulkhead that is actually airtight. The pump side gets a hose as well. This is just some braided vinyl tubing with a 3/8 ID. Next, it's time to bring over the base station. After test fitting the tanks, I can see where I want to put the holes for the hoses, as well as noticing a gnarly kink in the drain hose here. With a very medium level of confidence that I wouldn't hit any important base station components, I went at it with the drill. Pulling the hose through, I put it together with a hose clamp, and it looks like that kink is still there. I'm not kink shaming here, but I will be adding a 90-degree fitting there. To make it easier to take apart, I put some spade crimp connectors on the end of the sensor wires. And then I fished the other end of the wires through and connected them. If you're wondering how the relay is wired, pause here. Sorry, enhance. There we go. You can see here, I planned to integrate the whole relay and pump assembly into a waterproof Tupperware, but I ended up abandoning that idea and just mounting the whole assembly to the wall. Before we move on, I wanted to show my attempt at adding a safety mechanism. That is this line between the two tanks. This was in case the freshwater valve got stuck open. It would overflow into the dirty water side and be automatically drained out until I could get home and address it. This didn't work because the mop system is actually really smart. The pump for the dirty side never actually comes into contact with the water because it might cause a clog. Instead, it pulls a vacuum inside the sealed tank and draws water up through this hole on the left. The hole on the right just sucks the air out. By adding a bridge between the tanks, I doubled the amount of air it needs to suck out, and in the time that the pump stays on, it wasn't able to get all the air out, and subsequently it couldn't suck up all the dirty water. So ultimately I had to seal off that hole, which is unfortunate. This is also why all my fittings had to be airtight. Charging forward, placing convenience over the risk of the house flooding, we are moving on. The station will be mounted next to this counter, which also happens to have an outlet and a sink above it. After drilling the appropriately sized holes, I can push in the drain line and a ice maker supply line for the fresh water. This was the moment that I decided I didn't like the aesthetics of a Tupperware with a pump screwed to it sitting on the ground. So instead, I took it all apart and then started screwing it into the wall. I think that looks much nicer. Moving under the sink to the garbage disposal, you can see that for the drain line, I'm using one of those rubber adapters you'd find on a dishwasher hose. After tightening it up, I suspended the excess tubing to create a trap. That way, nothing from the garbage disposal can make its way to the pump. Last thing to do is to give it some water from the ice maker line and test it out. That seems to be filling just fine. So I added some water to the mop basin and told it to start draining. Once the dirty water reaches the appropriate level, the auxiliary pump turns off and on in little bursts, sucks it out, and then drains right into the garbage disposal, where I never see it, and it gets washed away forever. Happy cats and Roombas all around. I'm really pleased with this project. Just a bit of simple automation to my already automated mop and vacuum. Because it took me so long to edit this video, I can tell you it's been running great for months. Thanks for watching till the end. No generative AI was used in the production of this video, and relevant links are in the description.